I wasn't planning on making a video tonight, but I was sitting in my rack and thought I should come out and make one to post. If you've known me before the Marine Corps, ignore the uniform I'm wearing and think back to me of how you remember me before I went off to boot camp, how I came back. Ignore the fact I have U.S. Marines on my chest with my name. Some of people are tracking, or I'm assuming a lot of people are tracking that I got broken up with. I'm dealing with it as best I can, and well, being stuck in Lima and getting separated is one thing, one hell of a thing, but I had a feeling I should make this video. One thing that I began to realize while being here is that a lot of things kind of started falling apart for me. During the 12th week of ITB, I proceeded to heat case. I proceeded to heat case and was given two options of figure it out, or FitFo, figure it the fuck out, or refuse to train. Naturally, not being able to move, I refused to train. Then on the second day, I still couldn't move my pack, I still couldn't move what I had, so I refused to train again. And that was the first thing that I saw that started to fall apart. Because shortly after that, I got moved to Lima. And the relationship I was in, I honestly never thought anything would go wrong with it. But that's the thing with life, is you never expect anything bad to happen until it does. I'm doing the best I can to keep pushing forward, because I can't give up on myself. That's one thing the Marine Corps taught me, and one thing that was hammered in my head, is I can't give up on myself. Because there's people that still need me, and there's still people that I need to help. And if the person that wants to help gives up on themselves, they can't do anything. Sitting in Lima, I'm happy I have the friends I do. Many of them jumped. Many of them I haven't seen in a while. Few of them were from my boot camp platoon, and then, funnily enough, a few more of them are from my recruiting substation in Washington. With everything happening to me right now, it's kind of building up, and it was being more and more of a struggle to be here. I'm continuing to push forward, because I can't just stop. I'm carrying on with my separation, as it's kind of difficult to get some of my paperwork through. It's difficult to do with a few things here, with people constantly being stupid, people having things they're not supposed to have. But I wanted to make this video for one reason, and that is kind of as a check-in that isn't just me at the gym, isn't a random story of a few guys dancing in my squad bay. It's just a check-in on me for anyone that is still worried or is confused. I'm going to try and keep this on my Instagram, because I really don't want this to be posted to Facebook. Because a lot of people actually have my Facebook, and I really don't want a lot of them to go, oh shit, what the fuck happened? But it's difficult being here, especially with everything that happened. Someone I never thought would leave me left. Friends I thought would never turn against me turned against me. And throughout that, as the test of faith that this is, and the fact I was slowly losing my connection with God while at ITB, I've been turning back to God and trying to live up to what I initially was trying to do. My cover is messed up, but it's a strange eye-opening experience being in the Marine Corps, living on my own for a little bit, And time is weird here. I thought the last time I called my mom and my dad was like a week ago, or like a few days ago, only to, when I called them again, to find out the last time I called them was a month ago. I would call my sister, and I called my brother a few times, but I forgot to call my parents, because I thought I was already doing that. It's an odd, weird experience being where I am. Because something the Marine Corps kind of nailed home into me was just, no matter what's happening, you gotta think about the guy to the left and the right of you. I haven't been in too long. I was gonna be either a year or less than a year of being in, and it just sucks. There's a lot of plans that I had that a lot of plans fell through. But you gotta figure it out and keep pushing forward. I didn't really think about making this video. The thought popped into my head a few nights ago, but I never really acted on them because I didn't really think anyone would care. But thinking back to it, I actually should have made the video then. Had a lot more in my mind then. I had a lot more I wanted to say. But something I've learned here is you figure out who your real friends are. Yeah, some of them might beat your ass at grappling, or beat your ass in the squad bay or like be like an older brother to you and just beat your ass whenever. But that's how it is. In the Marine Corps, you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of people you never thought you'd be friends with. You meet a lot of people you never thought would make it in the military. Let alone, I'm in Lima, so there's a lot of people that surprisingly made it through boot camp that aren't continuing with their career. I'm unfortunately one of them. But throughout the experience I've had here, I began to realize that with me losing the connection I had with God and slowly falling into this like pit of despair, questioning where everything went wrong with my relationship, questioning myself, I began to, oh, that's a Humvee, but I began to realize that when you start questioning everything that you've done, when you start questioning how you are as a person, when you start questioning everything, and you can't just take a step back, look at yourself, and go, maybe, just maybe, what other people are saying about me is true. Maybe I am a good person, maybe I am all of this. Maybe I am actually a pretty good guy to be around. That's the thing with doubt, is you doubt what people are saying to you. I've struggled with doubt a lot here, because I had no idea, how am I trying to put it? I had no, I wouldn't believe the good things said about me because of the mistakes I saw myself make. The failures I saw myself do, the mistakes, the failures and everything I saw myself do. Because I would judge myself harder than I would judge others. Because I was holding myself to a higher standard and I was failing that standard. It's a melancholy feeling being here, because I've seen few of my good friends leave. Many I would have never met if I didn't join the Marine Corps. And when I eventually leave, when I eventually go home to the civilian sector and try and carry on my life and rebuild from the ashes, I'm going to realize there's people here that I'm not going to probably see again, or not really talk to that much, and just slowly fall out of contact with them. And it's the scariest thing I can think about, is slowly losing contact with people that stood by me when people lied about me. And hell, they would give me shit all the time, but that's just how the military is. That's how you know who your real friends are in the military, is they'll give you shit, but when someone else starts giving you shit that isn't one of them, they jump to defend you. When somebody says a lie about you, they'll jump to defend that lie, but then they'll make up some dumb shit that, granted, is a lie, but not to the extent of what that person is doing. There's people here I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss the uniform when I'm gone, because I had a lot of plans for myself. But God has a way of making you realize that maybe certain things you're doing isn't. Maybe you were there for just a time. Maybe you were there for just to help some people out. Maybe you're there to be the joker, be the guy that makes people laugh. Because the one thing I go through every day is if I make at least one person laugh, make at least one person kind of go, what the fuck did you just say, Unicorno? Or, dude, what the fuck? It's a good day. If I made someone laugh, if I made someone chuckle, or if I made someone question reality, it's a good day. And that's the thing I'm proud of, is despite everything happening to me, I'm beginning to rediscover myself. After the breakup, I was struggling with a lot of things I didn't like people seeing. That's how I am as a person. I don't like people knowing that I'm struggling. I don't like people knowing that I'm going through hardship. I really don't like people knowing that I'm, silently crying myself to sleep or staying awake at night trying to keep my mind off of what happened. And something I've learned is the deepest cuts come from people you don't expect. Someone you loved with your entire body, with your entire being, with everything you could give them, out of nowhere just says, I'm not ready. But not only that, people that you thought would trust you, or people you thought would stand by you. Yeah, this is like 12 minutes long. This might be going on my YouTube, and I'm going to make an Instagram post. But people you thought would stand by you, and people that you see as a brother or a sister or family, begin to believe a lie about you that wasn't said about you. I have no idea who, I wasn't touching on it. I haven't really said it publicly, but there's people lying about me, saying things I wouldn't have said. And what the person said was something I would never call, I would have never called Elizabeth, and I would have never called Christine. But my buddy took it and ran with it. Tore me a new one. He told me things I was never told by her. Because she never told me. She never told me her issues. She would always just say it was school, and I, as the person I am, I don't really like pushing someone if they don't want to talk about something. And I'm beginning to learn that sometimes you have to kind of be the asshole in a situation to get somebody to say something. Despite how much you don't want to do it, you kind of have to at some times. That's unfortunately the way things are. I loved her more than anything, and that's mainly what this video is about, is me talking about that lie. And the fact that I was never told anything. Because one thing is, how do you know a malfunction if you haven't been told it's a malfunction? How do you know something's broken if you didn't get told it was broken? Like getting handed a service rifle and it's missing something, but it's your first time holding it. So you have no idea it's missing that piece. And then someone chews you out for missing that piece. You had no idea about it, but at the end of the day, it's somehow your fault. And that's something I've been living with, and that's something I've been beginning to understand, is that I did all I could. It sucks. It sucks a lot. It's what it is, though. I have no other choice but to keep moving on. And it's very unlikely the people I am, briefly mentioning in this. I mentioned two of them by name, but those two didn't really chew me out, make me really have to stop and think about myself. One helped me, one I loved, and one I saw as a brother. And I still see them as a brother. Still see her as a sister to me. But the unfortunate thing is I have to keep remembering that I'm not with her. I'm not with Elizabeth anymore. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night or at whatever hour, because either somebody messes up when you're getting online, or I wake up and I see the plushie I have of her staring back at me. And I think of her. And that's something that I began to realize is the Lord sometimes keeps people in your mind because you're probably the only person that cared. Or the only person that cares enough to pray about them and hope that everything's still going well. And it's a horrible thing to realize that once you realize that you gave someone everything. And the Lord knows you were the only one that cared enough to really pray for them. To constantly think about them and constantly wonder how they were doing. Because I can't get over her. Despite everything I've tried. Both good, bad, and the ugly. I've done pretty much everything to try and get over her. But I can't. And I'm accepting the fact that I'm not supposed to move on fully yet. If at all. Because I still worry about her. I still worry about a lot of things. And I'm beginning to realize that she never told me the issues that she had with me. She always avoided those. She avoided telling me things that would make me worry, despite the fact I was still worrying about her when she started to go distant. And there's nothing more painful than a woman you were madly in love with going distant with you. And deciding that in a humorous way, like in Toy Story, Andy going, I don't want to play with you no more. Shutting off and trying to fix themselves when you would have done anything to help them. And that's just the way life is. That's something I'm learning. It doesn't matter how unfair a situation is, doesn't matter how much you don't want that something to happen, it will eventually happen. And sometimes you can't close that door because you never expected it, so you threw the key away. I have to close the door, but the door will never be locked because I don't have that key no more. I don't have that key for the people I previously mentioned. Before going, I was working on my paperwork to go home, and I wanted to see her. I was saving up money to take her on a date just for all this to happen, and I kind of blew the money and went, well, I guess it's me now. Let me try and find a way to cope. But I initially thought I would have no friends going back home. And that is a violent reality that I had to realize is I might have no one but my family left. My family and my church. No one I knew in high school, no one I spent the past 4, 3, 2, or just even a year with in high school. I might not see them again. They might not want to talk to me. They might not want to they might see me a different way because of the stuff getting out. And with that lie, I'm going to touch on it briefly. I'm going to just touch on it. I can't touch on it briefly. It's like one message that I've asked around, doesn't sound like me, drunk, high, or sober. But apparently I was drunk around a group of people when I said these things. And apparently, not only did I insult both Elizabeth and Christine, I apparently insulted her friends from Bakersfield. I don't even know them well enough to jokingly insult them, and I'm not the type of man to insult unless I'm driven to the very edge. And even then, I try to avoid it, because if I'm yelling at someone, arguing with somebody, say somebody calls you a bitch mid-argument, you're gonna go, well, no, you're the bitch. And then it just spirals, because now you're insulting them, and now you're insulting them, and it turns into just like two toddlers fighting. It doesn't matter how old the people are. If it's one person throws an insult and the other person throws an insult, it's just an insult hurling game. But apparently, I asked my buddies here, does this even sound like me? And they're like, no, that doesn't sound like you, what the hell? Apparently the person that sent this was crippled. I don't know how crippled, but judging by the fact they said that verbatim, I called them a bitchless, crippled motherfucker. And Joe Swanson, apparently there might be in a wheelchair. I'm not sure, because I don't know who that is. I don't know anyone that I would call that, let alone say that unironically. I would probably call him Joe Swanson as a joke if I knew them well enough. But it baffles me. It baffles the one friend I was talking to, because she even was like, that doesn't even sound like you. And they believed that? I sent a whole, like, me getting my ass chewed out, and she's like, what? What the fuck? Even she was confused. My friends are confused. I'm confused. But I knew there was a third party involved, and I didn't have proof of that until very recently. And it hurts like no other, knowing that there was somebody that got involved and was playing cards they had no right in dealing. When I go home, I don't really have too much of a plan. Stay with my family for a little bit, move in with my sister, and start a new chapter. Keep pushing forward, because that's the only choice you really have. If you try and stay stagnant, you only cause more further harm to yourself. And I gotta go back inside, so, or we'll just wrap it up. What I'm trying to say is, on the off chance this reaches anyone I wanted it to hear, I still care about you guys. It's how I am as a person. I don't care how much someone has wronged me, how much somebody has ill will towards me. If I once saw you as a brother, as a sister, as a friend, as a family member, I cannot make myself hate them. I may be mad at them. I may be all this. I may have a bunch of emotions at the start, but when I look back, I either regret them or I go, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. But I'm getting out of the what ifs. I have to live with the decisions I made, because I can't go back and change them. Granted, I'd go back to the night I met her, the night we got together. I went in comforting a friend and came out with someone who I will still call my greatest love story. And that wound is still deeper than ever. But have a good night. Have a good night, everyone who saw this. You watched to the end. I don't know. Fucking comment. Do whatever. I'm going to post this on fucking YouTube. It's like damn near 25 minutes. But have a good evening. Have a good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. But remember, there's someone that cares about you somewhere. And if you're someone I know, then you don't have to worry about someone not caring about you. I don't care how much of a dick someone is towards me. If I'm your friend, I care about you. And anyways, have a good morning, afternoon, good evening, or good night.